Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Auntie Energy Show. I am Shanice, the host, who's giving all Big Auntie energy, mostly because last week I was sick. Your girl was down and out sick and wasn't able to do the show, even though I had these great ideas for what I wanted to do, but I just wasn't able to do it. This week, I'm feeling so much better. Your girls was she had Rona again, and but most importantly, everything came back negative, so I'm feeling a lot better. There we go. Feeling a lot better and really excited to come back with a new episode. So I want to welcome everybody who is watching. Of course, I want to say hi to everyone on Facebook. I'm making it public so everyone can see. Boom, that's done. So, hey, Facebook. Hello to everyone on YouTube and Twitch. We're going to get into it because one of the big things I wanted to do last week was go all in with NFL season. And I was like, just a little Rona ain't going to stop the show. So we're going to talk NFL today. But we have a few other little topics I want to hit on first before I bring in my guests. And not only do I have some really special guests, I have like a celebrity guest who's going to come on with me. So y'all stick with me. We're going to jump right into it. I don't have a Black business spotlight this week, because again, your girl was down and out. So I wasn't really out in the community or going to different events where I could meet some new or small business owners. So I don't have a spotlight this week, but of course I'm actually still drinking my T-Zerts tea. So if you guys caught the episode, maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, they were one of my Black business spotlights, and I am absolutely loving their teas. Of course, you can go back, check out that episode. And of course, their information is in the bio for that episode about 2-3 weeks ago. And you can continue to support them. But that is what I'm drinking today because still having a little congestion and a very fun cough that won't go away. But we are going to jump right into it. And our first topic for today, how do we get rid of that? There we go. With the Emmys. So on Sunday or Monday, we had the 2022 Emmys. It was fully in person. One thing I am enjoying about award season now is that we're getting back to normal, right? We had virtual awards 2 years ago. Last year, a lot of awards had a little bit of distance or, very limited amount of people who were there. Some people were virtual, some people were in person. Now you have award shows where not only most of them are fully in person, but we are going a little bit more maskless. And of course, after being sick, probably should be advocating for being maskless all the time. But the awards happened and a lot of really great winners. And of course, great moments. I did not fully watch the whole show. I'm a highlights girl. But there were a few that I absolutely was excited about, specifically with our winners. And we're just going to go through a few of them, some that I'm feeling, some that I was kind of like, I get it. So, of course, outstanding drama series was Succession. I'm really shocked that Stranger Things didn't win. This season of Stranger Things, those kids, I mean, the amount of crying and acting that they did, the writing, the plots, the fact that they didn't leave us in a win-win scenario. I really, really love this season 4 of Stranger Things. I think a few episodes back, maybe like a month or so, I went into trying not to give any spoilers, but talking Stranger Things season 4. It was absolutely amazing. And though I do not watch Succession, I know it is a good show. Obviously, it's winning awards, but I really thought Stranger Things was going to take this. One that a lot of people were upset about was outstanding comedy series with Ted Lasso, many of which feeling like Abbott Elementary should have won. On this, for this category, I have never seen Ted Lasso. I heard it is very, very good. And I know that they won last year or the year before. So sometimes I'm not really surprised when you have TV shows and those who are kind of in the same category winning multiple times, multiple years. We all know how amazing Abbott Elementary is. And of course, we're going to get to Quinta winning for writing. But I'm a huge fan of Only Murders in the Building. Such a great show. Only Murders in the Building is on Hulu. You can actually stream seasons 1 and 2. highly recommend. And I do like What We Do in the Shadows, but I'm just weird because I like vampire shows and zombie stuff. But we are going to move down to some of the big winners. Zendaya, who won her second Emmy in this category for lead actress in the drama series. If you are a fan of Euphoria, season 1 was good. Season 2 was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. Zendaya literally kills the role of Rue. A lot of the characters are absolutely amazing, but she gives it all for that character and was more than deserving. And not to say any of these other wonderful women were not, but she kills it with Rue. And just seeing her actual personality and then what she does with the character, totally deserving. And similar to Ted Lasso, she was nominated for this before, the youngest actress to now have the lead actress drama series Emmy I don't want to say 2 years in a row, but 2 times. So shout outs to Zendaya. Especially because one of my friends who's an Eagle has styled her numerous times. So shout out to Franklin, aka Posh McCoy. Y'all go ahead and follow him. Some other ones, where we go? Miss Cheryl Lee Ralph for supporting actress in a comedy series. Again, if you are not watching Abbott Elementary, what are you doing with your life? Not only is Abbott Elementary such a great show, I used to be a teacher. I think anyone who's been in public schools, been in schools, has either had a teacher like Shirley Ralph's character from Abbott Elementary, which is Miss. Oh my God, what is her character? Miss I'm now losing her character's name on the show. Oh, what is her name? Miss. I lost it. Not Barbara. Barbara. Yes, her name is Barbara on the show. We've either had a teacher like Miss Barbara, you've either worked with a teacher like Miss Barbara, or you know someone in your family who is similar to Miss Barbara. I love the character. She is just your typical amazing teacher who's been in the school systems as a career. She knows the kids. She kind of just knows her way. She technically is what keeps the school together. But just the ad libs and the comedy, the comedic timing of her character in Abbott Elementary, she is more than deserving. And if you haven't seen her speech and her singing, a lot of people are like, oh, making memes, of course, pertaining to Sister Act. But for those who may not know, she was in the original Dreamgirls. So she has the pipes, most importantly, the talent, and was more than deserving of this for her role in Abbott Elementary. And let's just I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I love everything Black. So that's who I'm focusing on right now. Quinta won for writing in a comedy series for the pilot of Abbott Elementary. Again, genius show. If you have not seen it, you absolutely need to. So hey Alicia, hey girl. So you said you're a country woman. So wait, is Shirley Ralph Jamaican? Let me know if she's Jamaican. If she is, I definitely did not know that. But yeah, let me know if she's Jamaican, because now I'm like, okay, I see it. But Quinta won for her pilot, writing for the pilot episode. Again, more than deserving. Even though, again, a lot of these other shows are pretty good. But yeah, Abbott Elementary all day. Other people who won. Okay, she is Jamaican. Okay. Chippendales Rescue Rangers. This movie, I will be honest, was actually really good. Like, I remember watching Chippendales, the cartoon, as a kid. I think I just randomly didn't know. I was like, oh, I'm just going to watch some random movie. I watched this movie. It is actually very, very good. So Chippendales Rescue Rangers winning actually was good. And there was someone else I wanted to point out who won that I was really happy to see. Okay. Oh my goodness. Wait, what am I doing? Why is it doing that? Flickering. Okay, she said she used to be plastered all over the airport during the Moesha years. That is hilarious. So wait, Shirley Ralph is from Jamaica, and you're saying that she is so beloved there that they had her in the airports during the Moesha years in the 90s? You got to find pictures. I need to see that, because that is actually hilarious. Even though I heard they do that for Rihanna in Barbados. So I love that. And then, of course, competition programming. Lizzo, Watch Out for the Big Girls. One, shout out to Lizzo. She is, of course, halfway to her EGOT, but I heard this show is actually really good. I do need to check it out because I think it's on Amazon. And it also knocked off Drag Race, which is won, I think, 4 Emmys. And it's won, I think, 2 consecutive. So shout outs to Lizzo and Watch Out for the Big Girls. But that was the Emmys. Those are the big winners that I saw on my timeline that I was happy for. I'm a huge Lizzo fan. Y'all know I've talked about Lizzo on this show at least for about 3-4 episodes. So happy to all those Emmy winners. And yes, I'm sliding right through this, y'all, because I want to get to the gut stuff. So she said, yep, okay, I love it. I need to see pictures of this. So our next topic, we are getting to the Little Mermaid. So if you have been living under a rock, the news has been over the past year that they had announced that Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, but Halle Bailey is going to be the new Little Mermaid, and she's playing Ariel. Of course, we know she has more than enough vocals to do this, but at the D23 Expo, we finally got a chance to see her just a little bit in this trailer as Ariel. And when I tell you, anytime trailers drop and everybody's sharing on social media, I don't look at it. I'm like, let me go to my TV or my computer. I want to see it on the biggest screen I can so that I can fully immerse myself in the trailer. When this trailer dropped and everybody was starting to repost, I was like, no, I'm about to go. I think I looked at it. I think I watched it on my TV. So I went to YouTube, put it in. It is literally it's less than a minute and a half, y'all. It is 1minute and 23 seconds. I was shook when I saw this. She is only in frame for maybe 15 seconds. Outside of the fact that, yes, the CGI is not perfect. It's really early. It's not coming out until, I think, May of next year. So it's not going to look great. I definitely thought some of the CGI was like, oh, that don't look great. They look like they still need to polish up a few things. But when you hear her, it is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to play it. I do not know if you guys can hear it. If you can hear it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. But this is it. The feels, y'all. I don't know if you can hear it, and if you can't hear it, you've probably seen it because, as you can see, almost 15 million people have watched this. It just looks so beautiful, y'all. Like a glimpse. The score. It just looks so beautiful in live action. And then, of course, there's Flounder. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I had a moment. I was talking, then I just was like, I have to shut up. She sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, I knew just her voice in general that, of course, she was the perfect person to do it. Of course, people were like, oh, what about Ariana Grande? And I think Ariana Grande would have been totally fine in this role, too. I think she would have killed that song because they just had the pipes. But being a kid watching this movie, I think the original came out in like 88 or 89. The Little Mermaid is not my favorite Disney movie. It is definitely top 10, but it's not number one for me personally. This movie actually used to scare me as a kid. And with my cousins, my two cousins who are close in age, one who's 2 years younger, one who's 2 years older. My younger cousin loved The Jungle Book, and I loved the live action. I thought they did a great job. I think my older cousin used to watch this one a lot. So this was one that was always in rotation. It always used to scare me at the part where Ursula gets real big. I don't like that. It got real scary for me, and I don't like that. So I don't know how they're going to do it with the live action. I might have to still cover my eyes, but I just truly believe that she's going to kill it. And there's a really great interview. I want to say it's on Watch What Happens Live with Melissa McCarthy, who's going to be playing Ursula. And she talks about when they actually shot this. And she was saying, and it's not a direct quote, but she was saying that a few of the actors actually stayed on set to see her do this, do to do the song. And she was saying she was there and she literally just started crying. And even her talking about that moment, she was getting emotional. Her husband was there and was like, please don't cry. But like, she was just like, it blew her away. I cannot imagine if the feels that I get just watching it. I can only imagine if being there in person, it had to be ridiculously magical. I probably would have cried hearing her sing that too. And of course, you know, the racists were out to play about this. And it has, what did it say? It has almost 700,000. No, where was the thumbs down? Because I think there was this whole thing about it has almost 1 million thumbs down. I don't know. People were talking about it has like almost 1 million thumbs down. It doesn't matter because what it does have is almost 15 million. 15 million with an M views. I know that Disney is probably looking at this and being like, "Oh, we are going to make bank on this movie." Sorry. I have someone calling me and I'm doing my show. Sorry, guys. I know Disney is like, it doesn't matter what the trolls are saying, what the racists are saying. 15 million people love this small minute and a half clip. I think it's going to do gangbusters in theaters in May, not only for people my age who are just reliving their childhood, little Black girls all over the world. I think this is going to be in the same vein. And hear me out. I think it's going to be in the same vein as Black Panther. Hear me out before y'all judge me, before you judge me for saying Black Panther. The reason why is because of the significance of I'm just losing my thoughts. Sorry, because also my computer was dying. I think this is going to be big because of the significance of representation. This is another Disney classic movie where they have decided to go a different way when it comes to the race of the original character. And Ariel is one of the original Disney princesses. So, you know, this is the second time that little Black girls and just Black women, Black people are seeing a Disney princess. But most importantly, unlike Tiana, we're actually seeing a Black woman's face throughout the entire movie. She is not Tiana and then turns into a frog for, you know, 2/3 of the movie. We are seeing Hallie's beautiful Black face, her beautiful, you know, reddish colored locks. We're seeing all of that throughout the entire movie. So I am beyond excited about this. We've seen the clips of little Black girls, even that cute little white girl who saw it and thought this was Whitney Houston. But this is going to be big. I truly think this is going to do Black Panther numbers for Disney. Because I think they're really getting it right. And it's going to be a big representation thing. I think it's going to have a lot of kids and Black organizations buying up theaters so that other young kids can see themselves in this movie. So I think this is going to be huge. Let me get to this comment. Someone's going to be standing up like at church. I'm serious. Like this, I think this is going to be a very, very big movie. Again, people forget like she's one of the original Disney princesses. So I'm really excited about this one. I'm probably part of the 923 who watched this that many times, but I'm super, super excited about the new Little Mermaid trailer. So I'm going to get through this next one very, very quickly because as we all know, I am a huge Marvel fan. I've had a 2.5, almost 3 hour show about Marvel in Phase 4. So I am not going to go deep and super nerdy on this one. But the D23 Expo happened, and this is Disney's big expo where they talk all of their properties. So not just Marvel, but of course their Lucas properties, Pixar, and then of course their Disney movies like we just saw with The Little Mermaid. A few really fun things that they did show at D23 when it pertains to Marvel was the full cast of Fantastic Four. I will be honest, I was low-key disappointed in one particular cast member that they did show who's going to be in there, which is Seth Rogen. Not really excited about him being Ben Grimm, but here we are, and who am I? But some of the other really cool trailers they showed was this Werewolf by Night. Seems a little creepy, but it's going to be on Disney Plus, so I highly doubt it's going to be as scary as it kind of looked with this kind of black and white tone to it. But Secret Invasions, I was excited about Secret Invasions when they announced it. I was excited about Secret Invasions when I knew that they were going to be doing this as a Disney Plus series. And after watching the trailer, which let me see, can I play it? Okay, I'm gonna just put the volume down because I don't even know if y'all can hear the volume. But one thing I love about a good trailer is when they show action. I'm a huge action movie person. I love it. This gives me the idea of being in the veins of like a Captain America Winter Soldier, um, Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sorry, Captain America Civil War, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Ugh. Very action, but it's Sam Jackson being Sam Jackson. He's got a little beard gang. Okay, shout outs to the gentleman with full beard. Um, but this looks like it's going to be very, very good because a lot of the ideas of the scrolls is that they are shapeshifters. They can be anyone, and so you'll never just know, is this a real person or is this a scroll? Like, what's going on? So I'm really excited about Secret Invasion and this trailer. I'm gonna keep going because, like I said, there's more. They talked about Armor Wars. Of course, Don Cheadle came out. I think that'll be very interesting. Not really excited about it. Again, Fantastic Four. What is that? Fantastic Four, again, wasn't really in love with the casting, but they do have John Boyega playing Johnny Storm, which I'm like, okay with the. Oopsie, y'all. Sorry. Hold on. It's still going because I pressed the button. Not really 100% on board with John Boyega being Johnny Storm. I'm like, are they going the same angle as they did with the last Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan being Johnny Storm? Yeah, I'm not. I'm good. But I like John Boyega. So, as long as he's getting his little Disney check, it's all good. Captain America New World Order, that is going to be with the new Captain America, which is going to be Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. I'm here for it. Isaiah Bradley came out, which I thought will be really good. And then Danny Ramirez is going to be in this one. So, and he's really cute. So, yeah, that's happening. Wasn't really in love or excited about that. Loki 2, absolutely all in. Definitely excited to see that coming out. Same thing with Ironheart. So D23 was not as big as, of course, Comic-Con that had some, that's when, of course, the Black Panther 2 trailer dropped. So there's a lot of reassurance. And again, they were showing some more cast members that are slated for these shows. And of course, Tiana Paris came out with for Miss Marvel. And of course, she's expecting and looked absolutely gorgeous up there. So D23 was fine. They also showed the previews for Andor. I'll watch it because I'll be watching stuff. And that's kind of it. I'm going to get to the main event, guys. So D23 was great. Enjoyed everything they showed. But we're going to get to the football stuff because I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm really excited about it. So we are going to go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to introduce my wonderful guests who are going to talk all things NFL. And no, I cannot play the NFL music because I don't want to get sued by the NFL. But I have my friends here, and we are going to talk all things, not only just our NFL predictions, our thoughts about the season thus far, but we're also going to talk a little NFL news, but also week one and who we're excited to see this weekend. I'm going to show y'all my celebrity guests. So I'm going to introduce everybody one by one. My first guest is my wonderful friend from college, Mr. Preston. Hey, Preston. Oh, let me
What up, dude?
I would say, don't be throwing up no gang signs in here.
No, none of that. I'm a choir boy.
Sure. How are you doing, Preston? Thanks for hanging out with me today.
For sure. I always do anything for you.
Here we go, line. And then my next guest, who I have tried to get on at least 3-4 times, but he actually is here with me today. Is one of my bestest friends who I met the first day in college. It's my buddy Ahmed. Hi, Ahmed.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's
I'm
going
good.
on?
How are you?
Good, 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 good.
I'm
Glad to
happy
finally
that
be on. Finally, our
I'm
schedule's able to be on.
thank you. Look, God is good, ain't he?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Well, thank you so much, Ahmed, for being here. And so, for my wonderful celebrity guest, I have known this person literally all my life. They are literally the reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm rocking my New York Giants. It is my mommy. Hi, Mom.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
Hey, Mom. How you doing?
I'm
Shout
good.
out
I'm
my
good.
Simmons.
Oh my gosh, not AKA Mom. Jesus Christ. I have my mom on here because growing up, I grew up in a Giants household with my
Yes,
mother. My mom is a New York Giants fan
my
through and
OT stuff.
through, all things New York. She's
All
probably
of
one
it.
of the most well-versed people I know when it comes to New York sports. There's no stat, no anything you can think of that she's not gonna know. My mom knows it all. Before all the fun direct TVs and like playbacks, I grew up in a household where on Sunday, if the Giants are playing, you don't talk. You don't bother her. Like you don't. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember this, Mom. I think I had fell and hurt myself. And the game was on, and you were like watching it, and you was like, "You're okay." And I was just like, "You didn't even see what was wrong with me.
But you were okay.
I'm okay now."
Mom
You were
knows
okay
best.
then too. She wasn't bleeding. She wasn't falling out nowhere. She was okay.
That's love during football season, y'all.
That's love.
I'm
That's
excited
love.
to have my mommy on. Hi, Mom.
Hi, baby.
Yes, Alicia says hi. Mom, this is my friend from
Hey,
Portugal.
Alicia. How
This
you
is who I
doing,
went to
Alicia
Portugal with.
Nicole?
Yes. So look, we are going to hop right on in. We're going to talk about. I'm going to start. Look, hold on, because I want to talk about everything. But we're going to talk about week one. Week one just happened. There's some great wins, some great loss. Of course, my team won.
Woo,
Of course,
woo.
we won.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts on week one. So I'm gonna start with my mommy because I'm biased. Mommy, what were your thoughts about week one and just week one in the NFL? Oh,
Okay,
actually, you know what?
so
I'm gonna change while you talking though.
okay, so week one was crazy. All the morning games, they were crazy. I am very happy that my team won. Of course, the Giants won. They pulled it off. It was a missed field goal, and we won. But the morning games, all the kickers were missing field goals and extra points, and two teams that went into overtime. You had teams coming back in the second half where Cincinnati Bengals came back on Pittsburgh. They came back and tied it up. And I was talking with my other daughter, and I was like, now watch they get a touchdown, but miss the extra point and go into overtime. And that happened. And I'm like, oh my God. And then you had the Indianapolis Colts and who did they play?
They played the Texans.
Houston.
The Texans, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was
Everybody
looking at that
Texans.
game like I don't even know who the quarterback is for Houston. I don't know who that is.
Who is the quarterback?
I don't
Davis
know.
Mills.
Who?
Davis Mills. He went to
Yeah,
Stanford. This is second year.
Okay. All
How's
right.
that?
Well, that game went into overtime and wound up ending in a tie. Minnesota whipped up on Green Bay, but we
Yo,
know that look, the first game,
Minnesota exposed Green Bay for being trash. That was an
yeah, but
awful
you
game.
know what? I'm not jump. It's still Aaron Rodgers, and I still think that Green Bay is going to be okay. Now, I'm not saying they're going to Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers is not winning another Super Bowl,
Oh no.
but Green Bay is going to be okay. They always are, you know. So it was very exciting. Kansas City came out and whipped up on Arizona.
Cardinals.
I guess you kind of expected that. Mahomes, all of that stuff.
I didn't
Um,
expect them to get beat like that.
eh,
They got beat like that time you beat me when I accidentally put perfume on your leather coat. That's how bad they got beat.
God. We just gonna bring up stuff. Why are we? We just gonna bring up stuff. Um, I wasn't expecting a lot with Green Bay. I mean, with Arizona, I wasn't expecting a lot. So we'll see. Buffalo, I did expect them to beat up on the Rams.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I expected Buffalo to win because the Rams, they're like, they're okay. They're still celebrating their Super Bowl, and maybe they didn't come fully prepared.
Oh, they did.
But I don't know what they're going to be this year. I really don't.
Okay. All right, Ma. Go ahead, Preston. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your takes in. How do you feel about week 1?
For it to be week 1, I actually thought it was a pretty great week of football. She kind of talked about a lot of the Sunday stuff, capping it off with the Russell Wilson back to Seattle, which ended up being a fairly decent game. But that last play where they ended up kicking a 64-yard field goal was stupid because they wasted 30 seconds. Like,
What?
they could have called timeout, discussed it, did anything but what they did.
Right.
All of the options that were available, how is that one of them?
Right. But isn't this a new head coach for Denver?
Yeah.
It is a new head coach.
Okay, well, you chalk that one up to the coach because they should have ran another play. Like you said, they ran off 30 seconds and then called the timeout.
To kick a field goal.
To kick a field goal.
64-yard.
Hurry up. Get your play in.
Sorry, Preston, please say that again. How many yards? It was
64 yards.
Yeah.
Wow,
the way kickers was missing field goals? Really?
I don't even know how that was an option. But
There's only 2 people in league history who've ever made over a 63-yard field goal. So you were gonna lose.
Yeah.
I felt like when it came to that one, I'm glad you brought that up because I did forget about that foolish one. For me, my thought was, your new coach, you have Russell Wilson, you got a little momentum. Is that my nephew? Sorry, y'all, that's my nephew.
He lit.
Hi, Lori. Sorry, y'all, that's my nephew. I assume this is going to eventually happen, but that's my baby. But I thought to myself, okay, maybe the coach is wanting to be bold, right? Like it's his first game, kind of making this like bold statement. But I don't know. I think risk-wise, I just didn't understand why that was the decision. I just didn't get it. But go ahead, Preston. Go ahead. Your thoughts on week 1. Sorry.
What did Herm Edwards say? You play to win the game. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Like, you play to win.
Yeah.
Like, you don't play to tie. You play to win.
But was that for him to win?
No,
not at all.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. He wet the bed on that one.
Yeah. that was a hope and a prayer.
I don't even know if that was a prayer. Like, one day I want to marry Rihanna, like, or one day I want to marry Michael B. Jordan. That's a prayer. It's probably not gonna happen. Like, it's football. I don't know. I think you got to be a little more better play calling. But sorry, Preston. Any other ones? Any other highlights from this week you enjoyed?
I'm sure somebody's gonna get into it, but at some point we gotta talk about Dak. We gotta talk about Dak.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys.
I thought we're not talking about a team from Texas. I thought we're not talking about that team from Dallas. I thought this was a safe space, and we're not talking about that.
Oh no! Guess who's here? Mr. Henry's here. Mr. Henry's here, so we getting into it.
Okay, that team from Texas. Okay.
But go ahead. What about you? Week 1, what you feeling?
Week 1, I think everybody going into Tuesday, everybody needs to relax because, like you said, it's just we won week 1. We've seen that for the past 10 years of our adult lives supporting the team. Week 1 is just week 1. And one team looks good in week 1, won't look good in week 9. That team won't look good in week 14. And that team will be struggling. Let's get these draft picks. Let's get these rookies in. who trying to let's get this top 10 draft pick. But the one thing about week one is injuries, because
Yes.
we see TJ Watt from last year's defensive player. He's out for you. Yeah, Dak. There were a few others that had nicks and bruises and everything. Who rookies didn't stand out. Like, as you're a Giants fan, you guys don't have your top draft pick, the young man from Oregon. I forgot the young man's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Thibodeau.
hasn't seen a thing. He hasn't. Yeah. Thank you, David. I remember.
Yeah, Thibodeau. Yeah, he got injured
Yeah.
during preseason, if I'm not mistaken, at practice.
And I look at it real quickly, like two things. Well, week one could be one team come out the gate like gangbusters, like, hey, we Super Bowl bound, we set a tone, we punching everybody in the face. Or another team looking like, oh, this is another preseason game. Because yes, the Bills and Chiefs look good, but then also you have a good team potentially like the Dolphins or the Eagles, where they're just going to get their bearings. And even Denver, coaches are new too. You know, they are going to out scheme themselves. Unfortunately, like, stop getting your head out. You know what? And they'll try to overanalyze it. Just, hey, let's try to go with your gut. But that's how it happens. And one thing, even by the Panthers, some teams, unfortunately, are still trying to find their identity. Even after going in 3 seasons, we still don't know what the team identity. I've always said, at least one thing you could say about the Giants, the Ravens, the Philly, they always had defense. You always said it, even the Bears, they're known for defense. They know about this. Unfortunately, about being a Panthers fan, since Ron Vergon, since Sam Mills, got rid of Hall of Fame Sam Mills, there's no identity right now under this regime, under this ownership. So we will see. But that's how my thing goes week one.
All right.
Yeah.
We got you on Sunday.
So if you week one, oh, he knows.
Oh no, don't do this.
Oh, they know. I would say my takeaways from week one were some of the good teams didn't look good, but they're not in a situation where they can't get better. I thought the same thing about LA. LA plays sloppy. And I think if you look at even their Super Bowl run last year, I didn't really think they were going after they beat Tampa Bay, which they almost let that one go. Yeah. I felt like they have to clean that up because they can't go into San Francisco looking like that, right? Or let alone make it to the Super Bowl. LA finds, and we forget, LA has gone to the Super Bowl twice, right? They won one, they lost one. I think my nephew is wild. One thing about LA, I felt like even though they may not have looked good and they may have lost, LA finds a way to get better. Similar to what Mom said about Green Bay. Green Bay looked awful against the Vikings, but they generally figure it out, fix it, and find a way. I don't know if they're going to do it this season personally, but some teams that are actually pretty good lost, but I think they're going to find their way. Again, I said LA, Denver's another one. I think that was a very dumb move. I don't know if Russell Wilson is that guy, kind of like a Tom Brady, who's going to be like, I'm Russell Wilson. I know what's going to work. Let me go for it on 4th. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was 4th and 5. I don't know if Russell has that kind of command of a team or is just like, hey, I'm going to be respectful and let the new head coach do his thing and make the call, and I'm going to go with it. I think there are teams like that are going to be better. I do think Cincinnati is another one. Cincinnati lost to the Steelers off of, again, a bunch of ridiculous kicks that didn't go in. But I think Cincinnati's another team that may have lost this game, but I think they're going to be okay. So there were a few teams I felt like coming away from week one. Yes, they did look bad or they may have lost, but I don't think these are teams that you're going to count out and be like, oh, nope, they're not going to make it. Now, they're all in the same vein. There are teams like my team that did win week one and had a great win that I don't think are going to come out on top at the end of the season. And I don't need us to because
he's like the Giants. Hey, yeah,
yeah, my nephew be wilding sometimes, and it's so funny to me. But anyways, like my Giants, right? Like, we won, but I'm not one of those delusional fans who are gonna be like, we're going all the way, y'all. See, Daniel Jones may be able to take us to the Super Bowl. Absolutely not. Daniel Jones still played absolutely awful. We need Saquon to stay healthy. He had a great game, but we haven't seen that in years. So
Hey,
I
but
took
Saquon
week
looked
one.
good. He
He
looked
looked
good.
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
He
Um,
looked he looked like the Saquon we have wanted this whole time.
Back
He,
like he never
as a
left.
running back, you said what?
I said back like he never left.
Right. But he's had a lot of injuries. So it's like, I don't know. So look, let me get to Brian. We got to get Brian in here. Rams look decent. Give him some time. Exactly. I think the
Yeah,
Rams
I agree.
definitely have the ability to bounce back. Sean McVay, one thing I'm not going to bet against is Sean McVay. He's going
Right.
to figure it out.
Right.
I would
Absolutely.
bet against Stafford though.
yeah, Stafford
said
does.
Sean
Stafford
McVay.
is
Well,
older now. You know,
yeah.
he has a Super Bowl ring. Unfortunately, he might just like which I don't really think highly of Matt Stafford in the first place, but he handled his business around a good team last season. But we'll see about this season. Well, like I said, it's week by week. Let's see how he gets the ball.
Nah, he got his one. He done. He done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see them getting back there either.
You know what? This is the reason why I say, and I know we might be jumping into it, but I think I don't count the Rams out like I would a Green Bay, because again, Sean McVay will find a way. Like
Yeah.
they will figure it out. They'll get those midseason. I mean, again, we all know Odell is still potentially available towards that last stretch, which is part of what helped them get there. So I'm not gonna bet against them. I'm sorry, I can't bet against Sean McVay. But Ahmed, you kind of touched into our next topic, which we're gonna do a little team talk, right? And Brian, I know you are watching. Listen, we're gonna talk about your Cowboys because we're gonna talk
Trash.
NFC East. But listen, Ahmed and Preston, let's do a little team talk. How well do you think your team did? I think, because Ahmed and I talked this Sunday, I felt like the Panthers came back, and I think they've got a good thing with Baker. I know how you feel about it, Preston, but yeah, tell me how you feel about your team, how well they did this week, and what you think they're going to do this season.
Okay, so I do not feel like we have a good thing with Baker. Baker's doesn't. Yeah. This is awful. It's basically a gap year. Baker's trying to get paid. We all know that. So I feel like what he's ultimately trying to do is do too much on the field. And oftentimes when you do too much, you run the risk of making like foolish mistakes. He's already at a deficit because Baker's like 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet. So
I didn't know he was that small.
He's a little guy. He's kind of in that same Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray vein where it's already going to be.
Kyler Murray's got to be less than 6 feet. He is tiny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No. Kyler Murray's like 5'9". 5'8",
yeah, 5'9". He is. I didn't realize how small he was until I watched him. I was like, he's really tiny.
Yeah, he's smaller than Russell Wilson. They both like 5'9" dudes.
Jeez.
But it's already bad enough that you got to throw over 6'4", 6'5" guys. So you're ultimately trying to find passing lanes, but you're trying to do this in a contract year, in a new offense, with pieces that you are still trying to get a feel for. And I don't think he's going to have enough time to do all of that this year.
All right. What about you, Ahmed? But okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first before I say something controversial.
Well, the Panthers, compared to every season, since you know me and my dog, like when it comes to the Panthers, like this year, I'm like lower my expectations. Honestly, right now, I saw at the beginning of the season after the draft as a 5-win team and being nice with that because we still have glaring holes to deal with. With Baker, potentially because he's an upgrade from Sam Darnold to potentially a 7, possibly 8-win team. The only reason why I was I knew we were going to lose last night because of field goal. Our kicker last season, Gonzalez, who we ended up going to the Pro Bowl, he hurt himself in the third preseason game stretching on the sideline. That's why kickers are so hard to find. Yes, he hurt himself stretching during the preseason game.
That's like you're fired on your day off. Like
that's the Panthers. That's the Panthers being the Panthers. And I cannot kick a 60-yard field goal. I remember one time last season, I think 2 seasons ago, the Eagles had a little kicking tryouts and everything. People were struggling. I can't kick it. No, but I don't think you have to be a certain type of person to kick a field goal. But kickers are hard to find. So we learned that again in week 1. But going to the Panthers, the glaring hole that I've always said, even going into last season, they cannot stop the run. The Panthers run this with Matt Rule, this Big 12 3-3-5 hybrid. No big boys. We got all of them healthy now, but they still can't stop the run. And we played the team that runs the best running team in the league. We played the Browns, and they ran over 200 yards against us. And honestly, going into next week, Saquon looking like Saquon. If you guys have the offensive line going, they're gonna look good too. The only team I'm looking at, even that first 8 games of the schedule, we have good offensive line team. We have to play the Browns. We have the 49ers. We have the Rams. The only shaky team we got is the Bucks, Bengals, and Falcons, where the offensive line that teams can run the ball on us, honestly. And we haven't had the issue on defense. And like we said earlier, Baker's going to Baker. We'll see where it goes. If he can game manage, because even that touchdown run, if you look back at that play, he missed a wide open read right there at the slot receiver. And he's going to miss a few reads. He's going to overthrow a few things. And we've seen the fumbles. Turnovers are a big thing. We know how that goes.
Oh, Leland. What's up, Leland?
Yeah, but I don't want to wrap it up. I don't want to take too much. But, yes, with the Panthers, lower expectations. We'll see how it goes. Because, yes, and also with Christian McCaffrey, everybody said trust in C-Mac. But every practice, he can't be a running back.
Heavy-hearted. You sound so heavy.
I know. It's just like lower expectations because hey, the guy's a bubble wrap. Every practice,
he's pouring out his heart.
Like, yes, yeah. So yeah,
I've seen so where do you guys have him placing in your division? So you guys NFC South, and of course we're going to go through all of the divisions, and I want your takes on it. But where do you guys have yourselves in the division with the third?
Oh, we're gonna be better than the Falcons.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because the Falcons love losing to themselves.
Hey,
like
that's our point.
it's not that the Falcons aren't good; they just enjoy beating themselves. They're like, we're doing really good. Let's sabotage it. Like they love doing that to themselves. So okay,
the Panthers are going to end up on a winning streak, and they're going to try to reel us in. They're going to give us hope, and all of a sudden they're going to, like we do all the time, the past 3 years under this regime, lose out. And then we're fighting for let's get this top 10 draft pick. So we're gonna taste a little bit of wild card when that first comes out, probably week 12 or 13, playoff position. We're gonna have everybody hype in the city. The fan base is gonna be hyped, and they're gonna fade out.
Like you said,
we're gonna be trash. Tank it. There's some good quarterbacks coming this year.
So look,
potentially three first rounders.
You said what?
But like you said too, yeah, there's gonna be like 3 first-round quarterbacks come out there next season. They're gonna be like in the draft up there.
So look, we got Brian, who's our resident Cowboys fan, who I'm like, y'all, they act like they on suicide watch. I'm like, y'all chill out. Like y'all are gonna be
they should be.
But he said Panthers will be fine. Baker have to trust CMC. So hold on, you said that's Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah, CMC.
Okay, so he said, his Cowboys fix it, Jesus. Where we got Odell. So we talked a little bit about Odell with the Rams. I think Odell's probably I think the Rams are gonna pick him up, in my opinion. But yes, there's been talks about the Packers.
He still has a locker in LA.
No.
Right, they said they haven't even cleared out his locker in LA. So it's obvious that they must have. And I mean, he came out during the game last Thursday. So I think LA is still all in on him, and I think he's all in on them. He said dark horse the Bills. I don't know if I could see Odell out there. But of course, like I said, these Cowboys fans, they act like they on suicide watch, want Jerry Jones. First off, they want Jerry Jones to make a good decision, a wise decision, a well thought out decision. Never. And we know Jerry don't do that very well.
Shawnee's, can I say something about these Cowboys fans and Cowboys Nation? Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Great timing. Until the Cowboys do right by Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys will not get right. Put that man in the ring of honor. Show true love for him. And then y'all will probably get right.
Maybe. I'm going to tell you this right here. This Cam Newton, I think it's a bad idea. It's not worth it. I think today they came out and they were, of course, not Jerry, because Jerry thinks anything, but they're saying that with this injury and the surgery, about 6 to 8 weeks. I don't think bringing Cam in is going to make any difference compared to the backup QB you have. And I just think Cam is going to be more of a distraction than a help to the Cowboys, in my personal opinion. Cowboys will win the division by the skin of their teeth, and I will actually say no, they will.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
it's gonna be Eagles. It's gonna be.
I'm going
Eagles.
to.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about
unfortunately.
it. That's who I have is coming out of our division, NFC East. But Mom,
Yeah.
go ahead. How do you feel about our G-men?
Oh my God, I love our Giants.
Well,
But
overall,
I mean, I always love our Giants. How are we going to do? I think we're going to wind up being in third place when it's all said and done. We'll be right above the Washington team.
the
That's
Commanders.
how I see it. Yeah, the Commanders.
So, how do you think about
And now-
our playing this past Sunday?
Well, I wasn't able to watch the whole game, but I mean, I love Saquon. I'm glad that he is coming out like gangbusters. You know, I still say, you know, it is the first game. I pray that he stays healthy throughout the whole season and that he can really prove himself and just be the Saquon that we want him to be and know him to be. As far as Daniel Jones, I'll let you go off with that, Shanice, because I know you don't really like him. You're like, you know, he ain't gonna be here next year anyway, and all of this stuff. And you know, I want him to do well. I want him to do well. I mean, he's a Giants quarterback. I can't say anything real bad about him. I want him to do well. I can't wait for the defense to really be at strength. You know, I'm really looking forward to Kayvon Thibodeau to come back. So I like the coach and our GM. I think that we are heading in a good direction. You know, I have no high expectations for this season because it is their first season.
How many wins do you think we'll get?
I think 7.
Ooh, too high for my blood.
You said too high.
Too high for my blood.
I think we could probably pull out 7. I think that
lower.
Well, I think that the balls
pick.
have been bouncing against us for so many years that, like Sunday, we had that ball bounce in our favor with a missed field goal. Because last year, the last few years, that would have went in. That would have went in at 60 yards. So, you know, maybe we win some by, you know, a couple of balls bouncing our way. I look forward to that. You know, unfortunately for our division, I would say that the Eagles will probably win. I hate the Eagles.
We hit them all, actually.
I know. I don't like them.
So can I tell you, Ma, one of my friends literally was going on and on about these ones, the Washington Commandos,
Cobra Commanders,
going not only to the NFC game, title game, but winning and going to the Super Bowl. I said, you are mentally unstable. Like, y'all don't. Carson wins, sure,
yeah,
but
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like enough said. Like, really? Okay.
So look, here's my take about my Giants and their performance. This team, specifically since Daniel Jones has come to the Giants, has probably been the most tumultuous time in our household. This is probably the first time, I think I told Ahmed this, like, this is the first time me, my mom, and my sister were like arguing about the Giants. Like, especially when we got Daniel Jones, and of course when we had Dave Gettleman as our GM. We just were not seeing eye to eye on anything. I have never been a fan of Daniel Jones, and Daniel I do not trust. He continues to show why he will never even be a good quarterback. He is a decent quarterback at best. And outside of the Giants, which, yes, he was not signed, you know, his rookie deal is still on there. He is not, I don't think he's going to be signed to a long-term deal with the Giants. That would be the most foolish thing ever. I don't believe Brian Daboll or any of them are even looking at Daniel Jones as well, if he proves himself this year, then yeah, maybe we'll consider it. I don't think so. I think that they are like, look, here's what we have. We're going to make the best of the situation. And he would have to do something outside of himself. Like he would have to get the like spirit of the Mannings and Phil Simms. Like he would have the spirit of every giant great in him to do something absolutely spectacular and amazing to get a long-term deal with the Giants. Right. I think we just have who we have. I think Daniel Jones is going to be one of those backup QBs that will kind of fade into oblivion until a starting QB gets hurt, and they're like, "Oh, well, the Chicago Bears backup Daniel Jones is in the game," and you're like, he's still playing." Like that.
That's a good job, though. That's a good job, though.
It pays and they got benefits. Like they got health benefits. I'm not saying it's a bad gig. I'm saying this is probably the height, if you will, of his starting QB career.
That's the path he's going to go into.
Yeah, that's his path. And, for me in January, he can fire up his LinkedIn premium and thank you for your service. Like you can go ahead and log out.
Would you put Tyrod Taylor in now?
I'm saying like he can get through the season again if he can stay healthy.
Right.
But I think Daniel Jones will get us through this season. I see us as maybe a 5-6 win team, which I'm okay with because that'll put us in a really good spot for the draft. And then Brian Daboll Daboll and also our new GM. I'm losing his name. What's his name? Joe Shane. They can then do their thing. They can then start cooking. So that is where I see us. But that leads us. Look, let me get to Brian. So Brian talking about his Cowboys. He thinks they're going to win the division.
Of their team.
And he says retire 88-21. So here's the thing, Brian, about this retire 88. They just put this new commercial out. This is why the Cowboys be shooting themselves in the foot. They put that commercial out of the 88s. And then you have what's his name who's 88 now?
CeeDee
Lamb. Then you have CeeDee Lamb do the performance he did. That don't look good. That don't look good for the 88. So I don't know, Brian. You might be on to something. You said stop forcing 88 to players that are not 88 worthy. After that commercial, you might be right. They may need to retire that. He says Giants need Cam. No, we don't need Cam.
We do not need Cam. Let Cam do what he do.
Right.
Because he's not going to play football this year.
Yeah.
No, he's not. The only team I could say Cam because they have a run-based offense is the 49ers. And yeah, Trey Lance still looks like he's a year away. And Garoppolo, they can't put Garoppolo in. And I get it. Cam is a bigger life than picture to put as a backup for Trey Lance. But if you have a run-based offense, just like the 49ers do, where you do all these gadget plays for him, it's perfect for the 49ers. But, of course, they want to put a bigger figure as a backup like that because Trey Lance is going to do that all season and just get by.
Yeah, and I don't see Cam Newton playing football for any team this year. I really don't.
Cam Newton wants to be a QB1, and when he played as a backup, he didn't show that that's what he could do. He brings distraction to the team. And though I hate to say those type of things are going to hurt you, it's going to hurt you. There's the same reason why, I think he didn't last really well in Carolina when he came back last year, which was he's not the Cam Newton that he used to be. He's a little older. Wasn't as accurate. And, he hasn't shown, in my opinion, the ability to be that mentor, to be that support for a new young, a new young quarterback. So, I think it's outside of the system he can play in. It's the fact of the matter is that I don't see Cam Newton being that number one anymore for any team. And so because he's not willing to be a good number two, I think that's the reason why he has not been signed. It's not even about the ability. It's that teams are looking for a good number two, and I don't think Cam is trying to do that.
And the hard part, too, is real quickly, is that he's off the street. It's another time where that man is sitting on the couch, like he said last season. And it takes at least a month. Like, can you get with the receivers? Something, and you're working out by yourself. But working out by yourself is one thing, but coming off, this is not like basketball, like where you're like, oh, you can get rid of everything off
You
the
can come
street,
off the
but
bench.
you got
Yeah.
you come
And
off the
it's
bench.
also not like basketball where you could be playing in the G League or playing overseas or, playing where you could be playing in Canada or something, right? Where it's like, well, I am playing and you can't jump right into a new system. You're right. Football doesn't have that ability to be doing it elsewhere, right now, and then being able to jump right in. So I feel you on that. So look, Brian Thomas, somebody give Cam a job. He's a podcaster now. He's like me. He's a podcaster.
Killing the podcast game. Killing it.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it. Have you, Preston?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. A lot of these.
I watched the one where he was in New York and had Eli on.
Oh,
I watched that. Yeah, that was pretty
okay.
cool.
Yeah,
of course I watched
when
it.
in doubt, he can end up on the SEC network somewhere. He's go to the South.
Yeah, look, he could be like Bobby G, getting on the college circuit with ESPN or FS1 or something like that. So I think Cam will be all right. I don't see him unless he comes in really wanting to have that QB2 role. I don't see him having it. So look, we are going to jump into conferences. I'm gonna show y'all the leaders right now. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna do my little square. So I'm gonna go Preston, Ahmed, Mom. Let me know, go through these and tell me what are your thoughts and predictions. How do I get this? I need to get this bigger. Uh-oh, what did I do? How do I get it bigger? I need to zoom in. Okay, here we go. Is that better?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, how do I get it to move that way? How do I get it to move over? I don't know. How do I get it to move back over?
Okay. Well, we can start off the AFC. Then we go to NFC. Then.
Okay, I was trying to make it where you could see the teams better. Okay, so we're gonna go AFC. We're gonna go down the list. Preston, what are your predictions? AFC East. We're gonna do AFC first, round robin, and then we'll do NFC. But what are your thoughts? AFC East, North, South, and West, where they are now, and where you think they'll be at the end of the season?
All right, so division winners for AFC East, I believe easy money, Buffalo Bills. AFC North, I actually believe that the Ravens will win it this year. AFC South, which is probably the worst division in football, I'm going to say by default, the Tennessee Titans. And the AFC West, which is probably the toughest, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
So, Preston, we talked a few weeks ago.
Yes, I'm going to say it again. Yes. Nothing has changed.
I hear you, King. So after everything you saw, you're sticking. That's your final answer. You sticking with the Chargers.
Yep.
I hear you, King, and I respect your opinion. I mean, who you got? Let's go back to the East. Who you got?
Okay.
AFC.
Okay, for the East, because I got the Bills, aka Panthers North, because I trust their system. With the Ravens, I got the North, and actually I got the Ravens going to the conference championship game. And if they stay healthy, because I had them last year, because I'm saying last year, if they stay healthy and keep it going, I got the Ravens going out, and I got the Ravens cutting the check for Lamar.
So wait, y'all don't have nothing, no sense. Okay. I respect you, King. Go ahead. No sensey, but okay. All right.
Yeah. Not for for the Bengals. No, the offensive line is still shaky, and the defense is still kind of skeptical. You can have a great young quarterback, but he's pretty much right now. And he has a good receiver and good pieces, but I still trust the Ravens organization and getting them all right. They were a healthy defense secondary away from handling the business last season, and I feel the same way. Yeah,
I hear you, and I respect.
I do have
respect you.
It's going to be a close thing, but I don't think the Titans have the weapons for it. So I got the Colts in the South coming through, and when it comes to the West, it's a tough division. Pretty much,
it is.
I think everybody's going to watch late games all season with this division right here. But the team that I got sneaking out. Honestly, my gut feeling is the Chiefs, and there'll be 11 wins. I feel like everybody else is going to be like 9, 10, 11. It's going to be close with this division. but I had the Chiefs to sneak him out.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, Mom, it's on
Okay.
you.
All right. So coming out of the AFC East, I do also have Buffalo Bills, and I also have the New England Patriots at the bottom where they are now.
Oh yeah, they're
Um,
awful. They are
Okay.
awful.
Out of the AFC North, I'm going to go with Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with, I think it'll come down to the last game of the season. I think Cincinnati and Baltimore will be battling it out throughout the year. And of course, we're going to sprinkle in Pittsburgh because Tomlinson. For the AFC South, I'll say Tennessee only because I don't see anyone else doing anything else.
I feel like they're by default. Like they were like the
Right.
NFC East from 2 years ago when
Yeah.
everybody
Right.
was bad.
Somebody got to win.
Everyone's bad.
Right,
Somebody gotta win.
gotta
Somebody has to win it. Somebody has to win it.
show
Right.
up.
Somebody got to win. So I'm
Gotta
gonna
go.
say Tennessee. I'm gonna say Tennessee. The
Right.
AFC West, just like everyone is saying, that division is crazy. I mean, you have a lot of good quarterbacks. I'm not going to sleep on the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't see Russell Wilson and Denver Broncos really being in the top of that division. I don't see that. A lot of people are on the Chargers. I don't know. I think it'll be. I'm gonna say the Raiders.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Raiders. With a very close with the Chiefs.
Very
Okay,
bold.
okay. Derek Carr.
Very
Tough,
good.
man. That's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Derek Carr. Oh,
Well, look, we should play it in Vegas so that way if they win, we're gonna be billionaires.
I know, right?
Well, hopefully I will be there next season. Panthers are playing in Las Vegas next season. So.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Okay,
go.
sorry.
Okay, Tom Brady, let's go.
Okay.
All right, who you got, Shanice?
So here mine's. Okay, AFC, like everybody else, I got the Bills. The Bills have been nothing but on an upward trajectory.
Mhm.
They came, I thought they did extremely well last year. And this year, week 1, they showed, they made a statement, which is we are winning. We have been winning, and we are going to continue to win. I have to give it to y'all. I'm in the same boat. Definitely the Bills. For the AFC North, I have the Bengals. I think Baltimore is good. I think Baltimore more than likely will be a wild card. But I have the Bengals. I still think they have a good thing going with Joe Burrow. And I even with the game that they had, again, they're my team that wasn't great. But they weren't great and they lost, but they can fix it. And I think they have enough time to fix it. The AFC South, like I said earlier, like the AFC South is like the NFC East from like 2 seasons ago when I don't think any of us reached 500, right? So like very low expectations of anything coming out of the AFC South. I have Indianapolis. I have Indy only because I think Matt Ryan, though he may be a little past his prime, I still think he's going to do just enough to eke them out. I think they might do just enough to eke it out. And because of that tie, that might be what ends up putting them over.
Good point.
The tie might end up putting them over somebody. So I have the AFC South. And then for the AFC West, I actually have the Chiefs coming out. Similar, I think the Broncos will end up being that team that pretty much is going to. The AFC West is going to have 2 teams that are going to miss the wild card spot because they're all so good. So I think the Broncos and potentially the Chargers might end up missing out on that. But I do have Kansas City outside of the fact that Mahomes played wild crazy against the Cardinals. I felt like that game, similar to the Minnesota-Denver game, it's like, I don't know if Kansas City's really good or if Arizona's really bad.
Right.
So it was one of those things. And so just out of curiosity, y'all, the sleeper team I do have in the AFC overall is Miami. I think Miami's going to definitely shock everybody. I think they might even be wild card contenders this year. But in having Tyreek Hill, I think Tua played a really good game. I think Miami, that's one of my sleeper teams. Do y'all have any sleeper teams in the AFC?
Mine is actually, like Mom said, the Raiders. Honestly, if Raiders will get back in the playoffs again, I feel that if they handle their business, if they stay healthy, Raiders can sneak in. The Raiders will get back, and they will probably win a playoff game. They can if they focus last year.
So first off, can I tell y'all why see, Brian, this is why I might not be able to have you on this show. This was Von Miller gave the Bills a shirt to the Black Panther. You're a
Come on.
yeah.
The heart-shaped herb and everything.
That heart-shaped herb that he came out the sand ready to play, right? With that, he had that little triangle on the back of his head, and I don't know that.
Gosh.
I feel like that activated his superpowers. Preston, did you have a sleeper team in the AFC?
If I had to pick a sleeper, it probably would be the Steelers. We always talk about Mike Tomlin. We don't give that man enough credit. The dude has never coached a losing season.
Exactly.
That is true.
Always winning.
That's true.
Always winning.
Manages it
At
some
least
kind of
10 games or more.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick one, I'd go with them.
Okay, well, look, let's get to the division that matters, which is the National Football Conference, the NFC. So, Mom, we're gonna go opposite. Mom, do you, Ahmed, and then Preston. Mom, who you got? NFC.
Okay, so for the NFC East, like I said, unfortunately, it will be those Philadelphia Eagles. I think that they will win the division. For the NFC North, I'm going to choose the Vikings, but I do have them battling Green Bay throughout the whole season. So, but I'll pick the Vikings to win the North Division.
Okay.
The NFC South. Oh man. I'm going to say New Orleans Saints. I'm going to give it to the Saints. I'm not going with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady looked old. Tom Brady looks like a skeleton. He looks old.
45.
And he gets hit too many times. He gonna be crawling back home. He's gonna be like, oh my God, I gotta go. Why did I do that? So I don't see Tampa Bay winning. I see New Orleans coming out of the South.
Okay.
For the NFC West.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Who do you have? The NFC West is also hard because Seattle did good, but it's also Geno Smith. So whether he dropping bars or not, it's still Geno Smith.
I know, right? It is still Geno. I would say San Francisco.
That boy look good and terrible.
I would say San Francisco.
Okay.
But I would also say, you know what? I'm just gonna say San Francisco, and I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna pass it on to Ahmad.
Ahmed, go ahead, Ahmed.
I'm sorry, Ahmed.
Okay. I have the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they look good on paper, but I feel that they're going to handle business in the conference. They probably end up it's a 9 to 10 win division. I got the Commanders as a wild card, the Washington football team. Yes, I got them sneaking in.
I respect your opinion, King. That's
when you feel the division, sometimes you handle it. The North. I will go the North. Yes, I do have with tiebreakers. It's gonna still be the Packers because it's just week one. I feel Green Bay still has, unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers, and they'll end up going to like a 5-game winning streak at the end of the year and just beat the Vikings in the last game of the season or something like that. Tiebreakers. I'm sure there's tiebreakers, but the Bears will also look good. Detroit will actually look better because Detroit early has now a coach, GM, black coordinators, black leadership. So Detroit they're gonna look better, but
so they have the heart-shaped herb too.
They still have
yeah.
But they still have that quarterback.
Yeah.
So
they still have that quarterback. Honestly,
okay. I respect your choices. I respect your choices.
Okay.
NFC South, your division.
Okay, it hurts me to say because I love the food there. But I cannot stand the Saints. Y'all know I can't stand the Saints and their fan base, even though most of it's our people. But I have the Aints coming out of that vision, beating Tampa. Tampa's still going to the playoffs. Brady is going to look like Danny Glover at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this murder. No, it's the Reds.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's gonna be they're gonna feast on the rest of the division. Honestly, when it comes to that, and then last but not least, I have actually the Rams, but it's gonna be close like last season. Trey Lance is gonna look a little better. He's gonna probably have poise during, but it's still not the thing. The Rams are gonna turn it around, and it will probably be the Rams and the 49ers at the end of the season. It'll be a top game, and I really feel that way. Gino looks good at Geek One, but there's always next week. That's the thing. I hate to say it. Yeah, he's always look good one game, but when you have tape, that's the thing. I hate to say some quarterbacks, yeah, you look good now, but we got some tape on you.
Right.
He said, wait, Ryan said, Gino said Monday back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Yeah, today. Go ahead, Preston. Go ahead. I got what you got for the NFC.
All right, NFC East, I'm going to go with, of course, Fly Eagles Fly. Eagles is easy to kind of pick them. I actually think their defense is going to be a lot better on all three levels than people are expecting. People haven't really been talking about their secondary. They got Bradbury from you guys. So him on one side, Darius Slay on the other. I think they're going to cause some problems. NFC North, I'm rolling with the Minnesota Vikings. I do not believe it's enough ayahuasca in the state of Wisconsin to help A-Rod. So I believe the Vikings are going to be
Aaron.
Whatever. It's not going to be enough to help them out. So I do believe that Kirk Cousins can get them to win the division. Big push for Dalvin Cook this year. He has to stay healthy in order for this to happen for them, though. NFC South, as we've already discussed, I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. I actually believe this is going to be a really big year for Jameis Winston. With the return of Michael Thomas, he got Jarvis Landry down there as well. Then they drafted the wide receiver from Ohio State. I do believe they are going to step it up on offense. And in the NFC West, I believe the Rams are going to win it. But with this caveat, if the 49ers can get Garoppolo back in, I believe they'll win the division. Now, if Trey Lance stays starter, I believe the Rams are going to win it.
Okay. So yours is according to who's quarterbacking the Niners is to whether or not they're going to. Okay.
Yeah, Preston, even if I got the same thing. If Garoppolo comes in the Panthers game, because I think we got them 1, 2, 3, 4, week 5, all depends who's the quarterback. That's one right there.
Okay. Well, I'll give mine there.
Ahead,
very similar. My takes actually, even after week 1, have not changed a lot. So, out of the NFC East, again, I have the Eagles. The reason why I do not have the Cowboys is because even last week, if we would have did this, my thing would have been the Cowboys have to stay healthy and their weapons have to be as good as they are supposed to be. And I don't think the Cowboys run game, if they can't get their run game really going and being as dynamic as it used to be, the Cowboys probably are not going to make it to the top of the division. And I was right. They aren't healthy. Dak is not healthy. CeeDee Lamb, not CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb didn't do much of anything. I mean, some of those drops, like Jesus Christ. And even with Zeke, I mean, running backs, they just don't make them the way they used to. That's what I've said all summer. And so that run game that Zeke had, that explosive dynamic run that he had for his first 2 years and then getting that ridiculous contract, he just hasn't really gotten back to that. And I don't really foresee that. Also, another thing about in Philly that people have not been talking about is the fact that Jalen Hurts is thicker. Jalen Hurts put on some weight. He put on some muscle. Even watching a few of the around, NFL Network, they were doing around the camps and they were at everyone's camps. I remember seeing Jalen Hurts and I was like, oh, he looked bigger. And he is. Even some of the chemistry he has with his receivers. I think this is going to be a big year for Jalen. And he fine. So I do have Philly out of the East. And again, I think the only difference is going to be the flip. I think Dallas, according to when Dak comes back, and if he can, again, remain healthy on the stretch, because that's another thing people aren't talking about. He can come back after the 6 to 8 weeks, but you are still coming back off of an injury of your thumb, of your throwing hand. And all it will take, again, coming off of an injury, off of a surgery, is for someone to nick that. And you know those D linemen are going to be coming for his neck. So, and they don't have the easiest schedule either. So I see Dallas again. If they stay healthy, they might end up being a 2 or 3, or where they are right now. Out of the North, I had this as and they are also my sleeper team, which is the Minnesota Vikings. I think because the North doesn't have a lot of strength, and again, outside of Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers don't even believe in his own team. Like, why are we not? I did not hear that today, and I'm very shocked. Aaron Rodgers does not even believe in his own people. He talked about his own receivers during training camp, during preseason, and he showed that he don't believe in them either. So I think this is going to be a very bad swan song for him, no matter what his if he's MVP again, which I doubt. I think
No
Aaron
way.
Rodgers is not coming away with this division. And in Aaron Rodgers, we trust. I don't think they're coming out of the North. I think it's going to be Minnesota. Out of the NFC South, I'm very surprised nobody had Tampa Bay, and I did. I still had Tampa coming out top of the NFC South. I don't think it's going to be an easy win for him to have the South, but I did have him in New Orleans kind of battling it out. Jameis, I'm kind of a little bit the opposite of Preston. I think Jameis is going to have a good year, but I think if he does, he's going to have to, right? He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay in his tip-top shape and best form. He has a lot of weapons down there. And so, yes, a lot of it is kind of handed to the Saints versus the Bucks. But, yeah, it's also Tom Brady, and it's they have a pretty light schedule, pretty easy schedule. And even in this division, I did still have them coming out of the NFC South. Out of the West, I still had the Rams. Like I said, even though they did not play well, I truly believe Sean McVay is going to figure it out. Him and Matt Stafford are going to make a way out of no way. For Matt Stafford I think they said he averages 2 to 3 picks a game, and they still won a Super Bowl. They're going to make it happen. They are going to make it happen. And LA is such an attractive team. I think even mid-season, if they have to make some acquisitions and move around, it is not going to be hard to convince any of these top players, or even when it comes to by the trade deadline, to come to LA. One thing I thought was very funny when you said Tampa Bay, that was another thing. Tom Brady looked old. Like, he looked extra old. When he was out there doing the pregame, I was just like, he looks weathered. Like, he looks like a chair you left out. You can still sit in it, but it just looks worn out, and he looks worn out. I don't think, as much as he tries to say that, he's all in and he still has things to prove, we know that he has nothing left to prove. There's no award or anything that he can win that's going to be satisfying to him, outside of the fact that I think he just don't want to be with his family after we found out everything with the whole Brian Flores thing. I think it was just a deal with Miami that went wrong. And so he did unretire because he's like, well, look at the NFC and what are my chances? They're pretty good. I'll go back and play. These kids been living without me for 20 years. They'll be all right. So I think he picked up his kid and got in that little that pickup line and was like, this ain't for me. Like, I'd rather hang out with the kids in the locker room than hang out and coach my kids, little league game. My sleeper, like I said, from the NFC all around is going to be Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to shock us this year. What about y'all? Any sleepers in the NFC? And Brian, I'm getting to you because you had a lot, but go ahead. Any sleepers in the NFC?
I don't have any sleepers. I mean, I have Minnesota coming out of the North anyway.
Ahmed, Preston? No?
I don't have a sleeper,
you want to go first?
But I feel it necessary to bring up the fact that Kyler Murray has always tailed off towards the second half of the season. Right. The main difference in this year will be because DeAndre Hopkins is suspended the first half of the season. I'm expecting Kyler Murray's numbers to look better the second half of the year when D-Hop comes back.
Okay.
Okay.
Ahmed, you got any?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, only sleeper, and it seems interesting. I say this because they have the recipe, and I just don't trust the organization because the organization as a whole is trash. Is the Washington Commanders? They will get in as well because they'll end up being 6 and something, 7 and something. It's just because they have their young rookie out of Cincinnati looks good. They actually, if they stay healthy, they run the ball, and Ron Rivera doesn't coach out of his system. Even though I don't trust Wentz, they might if he doesn't. You know how Wentz is. Y'all know y'all NFC East people are how Wentz is bad.
We know.
I know.
That's why I keep
Yeah.
telling. I'm
Wentz
like,
gonna
Or
win.
honestly,
right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
honestly,
like, if Carson wins, I wouldn't bet on him.
Right.
no, and I think
Exactly.
if they just because honestly, if he's truly a game manager, 25 throws a game, I feel like that's the only team that I trust. Honestly,
25
I
is
can
too much.
see 25-15.
It
They
needs
don't
to
have
be
to
somewhere
they,
between 15 to 20.
One thing
yeah, because
about
I trust
being
their defense. I trust their defense a little bit, at least their run defense. But again, I just feel somebody's going to step out, but I do have everybody says the Eagles on paper, and we've seen that before. But if everybody stays healthy, I do have the Eagles probably making some noise and everything in that.
I love it. So look, we got Brian, our resident Cowboys fan. He has Chiefs Bills AFC title game. I can see it.
I can see that again.
I can see AFC title game. Then he has NFC Bucks Rams. I don't see
No,
them
I
doing
don't
That
see
seems
that.
awful
Part two.
chalkish. That seems awful chalkish.
I don't see Bucks Rams again.
I don't see that either.
Yeah,
I don't see that
Bucks
either.
Rams. Yeah, I don't see that. Maybe he's seeing something we don't see, but no,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
have
my
that
picks are
one.
gonna be surprises for everybody. So
You said what?
I said ain't nobody gonna believe my picks. So
Okay, so he has so Brian for his dark horse, his sleeper teams, he has Miami and the Raiders. I have to agree. I think
I can see
Miami.
that.
Yeah, like I said, for me, I think Miami's gonna make some noise. They're gonna come out
Yeah.
of nowhere. Our good brother and Dez, who's not on tonight. He's he's like the only Miami fan I know, but like he's a huge Miami fan.
I don't know if I trust Tua
Miami's gonna
yet.
do something, huh?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
don't
about
trust.
Tua yet. That's my only issue with Miami.
And so who's their backup?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh,
He's still
Oh
good.
God.
You see that?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, honestly, I don't trust any quarterback from Alabama. Honestly, any quarterback that came out of Alabama on the Saban system, shoot, real talk, the best quarterback. Shoot,
I like
last time I seen it.
okay. So Brian, also on the
That's
NFC
next
side,
season. That's
he has
next season.
Packers and Niners. I agree with you guys' take earlier about the Niners. It's really about when they end up putting Garoppolo in. I have them putting Garoppolo in week 4, maybe week 5, if Trey Lance really does not step it up. And after what we saw, I can see them bringing Jimmy right back in before week 5. And just to salvage,
you would say him right before the Panthers. You
But-
would say him week 5 when they play the Panthers. Of course.
because I think they're going to give. It's not even about who they play. I think it's the fact that they're going to try to give Trey Lance a chance, but because the West is still kind of up for grabs and it's not really guaranteed, like the AFC West. I think that they're going to be like they're going to hit the panic button and put Garoppolo in. That's. I like I said, you guys said it earlier. Y'all,
but they traded all of that draft capital, so they almost have to give them a chance. They can't pull them and throw them back out there. So if they pull them, they can't put them back on the field.
Right. So okay, sorry.
personality.
Brian said change that. He said add Chicago to replace the Packers as his dark horse. So he's actually saying the Niners and Chicago Bears. Okay. I respect your opinion, King. And then he has one more. Don't be surprised if Odell goes back home.
Where is home?
My thing is,
LSU.
but did it really work
he went
with
to LSU,
Jarvis?
yeah.
But it didn't really. But what happened when him and Jarvis were with the Browns? Like
Baker,
the quarterback.
Baker is what happened.
Baker. Yeah, pretty much.
Y'all not gonna let that Caucasian man live. That's my neighbor.
Not at
Will
all.
not.
Not at all.
Will not.
No. Not at all.
Okay, so who do y'all have in the Super Bowl? Last question. Who y'all got?
Hmm.
Super Bowl. Who's playing? Who's winning?
Who's winning?
Who's playing and who's winning?
Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning
I'm going to say
who's
Buffalo.
performing? Who's performing?
You said what? Who's performing? Do we even know that yet?
Right.
We don't, but it's probably going to be a country show, a Super Bowl in Arizona this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had our turn last year.
Yeah, they said that was black enough for you.
Yeah,
Right.
you will never
Black
see
enough.
another
You know, it's
city
every
up
other
on
year,
national
so.
TV.
Right. So who y'all got? Here, I'll go with you,
From the
Preston.
AFC, I got Buffalo. I got Buffalo Bills from the AFC. I really don't know with the NFC. That's gonna be a pickle.
You got to give us one, Mom. Who's playing?
Oh my God.
The Giants. No.
No.
Wasn't that a Super Bowl back in the 90s? Didn't y'all play the Bills in one of y'all Super Bowls?
Yes. Super Bowl 25.
25. Okay, yeah.
Wide right.
She gonna know.
The ball was wide right.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yes, we won 20-19.
So wait, which one is that, Mom?
4 losses in a row.
That was Super Bowl 25. The second
right
one,
here.
yeah.
The second one.
Second one, yeah.
Yep, our second one. Oh my goodness, NFC. Okay. I'm going to say my hated rival and say the Eagles.
Ooh, okay.
Although I don't believe that.
Maybe I should have gave you more time, but okay.
I know you really should have, because I wouldn't have picked them.
Okay, who you got, Preston?
All right, so AFC title game, I have Chargers Bills. I have the Chargers winning. NFC title game, I have Saints Eagles. I have the Saints winning.
Dang, you have mine too.
Wow.
And I have the Chargers winning the Super Bowl this year. Championship stays in LA.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Right. That was a good pick. That was out there. That was a good pick.
This is on the interweb, so we will be revisiting this. Okay, I mean, who you got?
Okay. The easiest choice with the AFC, I have the Bills and the Ravens. AFC Championship game. And I have the Ravens
Bills and the
pulling
Ravens?
it off. Yes, AFC Championship game.
Okay.
And then I have my feeling. Justin, what's the name? Justin, the kicker and everything. The hope he's going to get them through.
Oh, Justin Tucker.
Justin
Tucker.
Justin
Tucker Hall of Fame kicker. Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Justin Tucker is going to put the Ravens through. Not Lamar, but he's going to put him Justin, because I bet you he's going to be a defensive side. It's not even going to be a scoring game. I'm picking out right now because I'm going to have receipts. It's going to be the Ravens pulling it through in the Super Bowl. Now the AFC.
So you have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl?
I have the Ravens going to Super Bowl over the Bills.
Okay.
And it hurts me to say this because the NFC Championship game, I have teams like that. I got the same impressive. I got the Eagles and Saints, even though I can't stand New Orleans.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
And you know who's gonna? And between those two teams, honestly, I got Philly in the Super Bowl. That hurt.
You got Philly in the Super Bowl?
I got Philly versus
that's sour. Ooh,
and who wins?
I know. You know what? It seemed like a pipe dream. It seemed weird. All of South Florida is going to go crazy. But I got Lamar winning that chip and say, what now?
Yeah.
I got because honestly, the same way people talk, the way he looks, the way he sounds, and everything, and he's different. You could tell he's a brother from South Florida. But I got him hosting it, lifting up the trophy.
It's because he got plaits, but
his hair looks so much better. But he has to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy.
But we said the same thing last season because I remember, like I said, week 10, I was like the Ravens were like 8 and something. They were looking good. And everybody got, but like you said, if everybody stays healthy, where you have,
they already having injuries on the defense.
Right, I was about to say, I think the Ravens had a few
they third or fourth corner already.
Yeah, they even like dealing with injuries already.
Mm-hmm. Like even for me, I had the Steelers going to playoff as well. They're going to sneak in. I thought they were going to do more, but with TJ injured for most of the season, I don't think he's out. Don't quote me.
No, they said 6 weeks.
Okay, 6 weeks. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
but They can
Wow.
possibly get. I still got the Steelers getting in the playoffs. I still got Mike Tomlin winning at least 9 games, winning, keeping that streak alive and everything. But
I agree.
it's gonna be tough.
Brian,
How you gonna make up?
Brian Henry
He's
is
our Brady.
wild. He's like, listen,
Yeah.
Justin Tucker, I've had him a few years on my fantasy team. He does not disappoint.
Nah, he don't.
I got him too.
He doesn't
and
disappoint. He's a
Straight
sure
cash, homie.
thing.
Straight
Like
cash.
I said, first round Hall of
and-
Famer, period. Like Justin Tucker,
and
probably hands down best
he's
kicker ever in the NFL. Like, yeah.
he's an opera singer too. He's gonna sing the national anthem on Super
Oh
Bowl
my
as well.
God.
So you got all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez, you got the
Yeah.
lineup, everything. So,
exactly.
Okay, you see, Brian is questioning your decisions. I mean, he's questioning you.
'Cause-
So I have for the AFC title game, I have the Chiefs and the Bills. I have the Chiefs and the Bills.
Another classic.
I have the Chiefs and the Bills. I think that's who I have in the AFC title game, and I have Buffalo coming out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the NFC, I have the Rams and the Vikings.
What? Kirk Cousins going to the NFC title game?
The title game.
Said he going.
Kirk
the NFC title game. I think Kirk Cousins is going to just shock us. I ain't say they was going to win because I have the Rams back in the Super Bowl. But I also, I have, what did I just say? I have Rams Vikings. Sorry, Rams Vikings in the NFC title game. I have the Rams taking it away, but I have Sean McVay losing. Sorry, not Sean McVay, but I have the Rams actually losing the Super Bowl. I think this is going to be the year that the Bills take it all. I really do. I think the strength of the team, you know, as all things in NFL, staying healthy. But, you know, having someone like a Von Miller in there, I think Josh Allen is steadfast on what he wants to do. And I just feel the upward trajectory. They have nowhere else to be but in the Super Bowl and winning it all. And because I think the AFC West is just stronger than the NFC. Sorry, the AFC is a little stronger than NFC. I see the Bills coming out, but I do have the Rams Vikings in the championship game, and I have the Bills taking it all.
All right.
Shawnee's, can I say something real quick if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
What really hurts me is because with the Bills, they have moved up so well, and even if they do lose and everything, I still feel that I trust them next year because I feel they see their mistakes, they improve it what they need, and it hurts because, like I said, their GM Bean was assistant GM of the Panthers. Dorsey, he was with the Panthers. Everybody pretty much Panthers North. And what hurts me as a Panthers fan, it seems head coach like, hey, he was a defense coordinator for us. And what hurts again always is like you surround your young big quarterback with weapons. You trade these picks for talented weapons. You make sure that, hey, we got your defense, we got you a tight end, we have everything that you need to better yourself. And even like unfortunately, like 2015, you can't just run it back with the same team. You have to improve. And as you know, Mom, Shawnee's, Gettleman, first round pick. He drafted a guard. So Gettleman, Gettleman. We had Gettleman as a GM. So they solved all the mistakes the Panthers did, and they're doing it correctly in Buffalo. I just have the Ravens sneaking over with the healthy team and everything. And I do want Lamar to finally go through a little bit.
I guess so. I guess so. Wait. So Brian gave us Bills Rams Super Bowl. I said the same thing. Bills Rams Super Bowl. So we shall see.
Who's your winner, Brian?
We shall see. We're at the end. I kept y'all far longer than I expected, but this was so much fun. I want to thank all of you, and including my mommy, who I'm going to see in 2 days. This was really great. I love talking football, and we will have this, and I will be trolling you guys mid-season and at the end of the season for your picks and where we end up by the end. Because one thing I love about the NFL is you really never know. There's so many varying factors, and I just feel like with some teams, like nothing is guaranteed. You could be great one year and just be absolute garbage the next, or be riddled with injuries. Like I just feel like there's
you can
just
go
no
from worst to first in 1 year.
Right. Right. Exactly. Or go from worst to first. Like I that's one thing I love about the NFL. You just never, unlike, the NBA, I feel like certain things are a little more guaranteed there, but NFL, you just never know. So we shall see. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And whoa, hold on. Hot take just came in. Josh Allen for MVP.
That's not a hot. Is that really a hot take? Is that really a hot take?
It's not.
Is that really a hot take though?
So y'all think Josh
Buffalo would actually win a Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, Mom, coming in spicy.
No, that's a.
Well, I mean, we know back in the 90s they went to 4 straight Super Bowls.
4 in a row.
4 in a row, and they lost all 4.
All 4 of them.
Well, maybe they got angels in the end zone.
What was they in the 90s?
Huh?
They had the recipe in the 90s. They had a running game, the receiver, the quarterback, the defensive end.
They did. They was the greatest show in snow before the greatest show on turf. They were balling, but they ran up against that defense of the other teams in the NFC.
NFC was slapping them.
They were NFC East was slapping them.
East. Oh, honestly, Mom, you probably remember Eagles too. The Eagles were slapping back in the day. You remember if Randall Cunningham, if he didn't get hurt, I thought the Eagles were going to win that chip one year.
Yeah. Okay.
Von Miller Super Bowl MVP. Wouldn't that be his second? That would be his second, right? Von Miller, if he gets MVP, that would be his second because he got one with Buffalo, right?
He got one with Denver.
With Denver, right? Yeah.
Really, you all bring that up?
Y'all piling on.
Y'all gonna bring up Super Bowl 50? Y'all gonna still bring up Super Bowl 50?
I forgot. Sorry.
I'll still bring that up.
Sorry. Well, I mean, Peyton and Brock Osweiler stumbled over the finish line. So
yeah, how about that?
Jesus Christ!
But they finished.
No, Jericho. That was a catch. That was a catch by Jericho Cottrell. That was a catch. He caught that.
Oh God! Well, look, don't get Brian started about what's a catch and what's not a catch. And then
hey, wait, talk about Simmons. Do the Peyton Manning thing again.
What Poppy used to do? Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. Lord, okay, look, I'm gonna let y'all go because I need to go eat dinner. Love y'all, Mommy. I'm gonna call you afterwards.
Thank you so much
for being here, y'all.
Bye, Preston. Bye,
Mama Simmons.
Bye, y'all. All right, everyone. I'm not going to keep y'all long because I cannot believe I'm about to hit 2 hours. Thank you so much for checking out the Big Auntie Energy Show. I was going to do my rant for this week because something really pissed me off, but I really don't feel like doing it. And also, again, it's late. I need to eat. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Brian, next time I'm giving you the link. We're going to talk. Actually, Brian, mid-season, me and you, we're going to be talking about NFL mid-season, where we are with predictions. So, Mr. Henry, I'm coming for you. But thank you again to my guests, Ahmed, to Preston, and of course to my mommy. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. But most importantly, make sure that you guys follow me on social media. So on Instagram and on Twitter, it is on Instagram it's the Big Auntie Energy Show, all one word. On Twitter, it's _BAE for Big Auntie Energy _show. It was a great time hanging out with you guys. And again, I love talking football. I could literally do this all day, every day, all week during the season. It's my favorite sport. I love football, love college football. So it was really great to have these conversations with my people. Y'all be safe. See you guys next time. Bye.